Hey guys, it's Kanoboy, and I'm doing a Discord survival camp tier list. I'm sorry for the bad mic quality. My headphones just decided to not work, so I don't have those. So I'm literally just like recording this on my phone essentially with like the automatic audio. So I apologize if that's terrible. If it's like absolutely awful, I'll reshoot this so you won't be seeing that. But it might be pretty bad. All right, let's get started here. First up, let's do the different rankings. Basically, what they are. There's amazing, which is like top tier. Fun, which is still really good. Decent, bad, absolute garbage, and unable to fairly rank, which is not actually below absolute garbage. It just means like it hasn't completed yet, or I haven't really explored it that much. So, like, for instance, Concocted, this first one, I'm going to put in unable to fairly rank, because, like, I know this one exists, but I looked at it once, because I thought it was a different kind of server, and then I left. So I have no idea what it's about. If it's terrible, oh, okay. If it's not terrible, then great, it's not terrible. Now, next up is Sokfn, or, what would you, like, shitty object camps, or shitty objects compete for nothing. That's it. Yeah, I wasn't planning on starting it off, but yeah, I'm putting in the absolute garbage rank. If you haven't participated in it, it's super unfun. It was hosted by Basic Lopsided, I think that's their name now, and let's just say he doesn't have a great track record for Discord camps. I think he's had 3. One was pretty fun, and the other 2 were absolute shit, and this is one of them. The challenges weren't fun. He would just randomly put in features. It was unbalanced. It just wasn't fun at all. Most people can agree with me. I think if anyone here likes that, tell me why, please. I'm also closing that ad. I'm sorry, we have ads. Next up, we have ATDSC. I know it's my camp, but I love it, and you better love it, or else I will steal your dog. Next up, we have Wisp's Discord camp. Now, the newer season, I can't really rank, but I'm actually ranking the old one. I'm going to put it under bad. It is not garbage. It was just... The challenges were original, I'll give it that, but no one participated, which was one thing, but another thing that really killed the camp was the fact that the challenges were like 2 to 3 weeks long, so everyone would just like not do it because they're like, oh, I got so much time, then realize they had to do it, forget about it, it just, the system didn't work. If we ever get enough signups for the second season, I look forward to that, to seeing what it's going to be like, but until then, yeah. And okay, next up we have Orange's Awesome Gamer Camp. I couldn't find the picture, so I just used a random thing. I know so far a lot of these have been pretty bad, but it's just the order it did. I'm also going to put it under bad. I actually co-hosted in this, but it was... The challenges were pretty generic. It was like no one participated, and I didn't really do anything as the co-host. It wasn't really well thought out at all. In fact, actually, I'm going to put this under absolute garbage. I can't think of a single redeeming quality of it. I'm sorry. Next up, we got Oh God, So Many Camps Alternate Timeline, which I actually host. I'm going to put it under decent. Now, the reason I'm going to put it under decent is because I did... It started out really good. It's kind of declining right now, but I believe in it. It's like a D&D style camp. The story's really good. It builds off the other ones, but the other ones had some kind of weird parts that I didn't really like, and it kind of didn't have to include that, which was nice. Plus, it had the Capitalist Legion, so, yeah. Next up, we have Battle of the Akataragons, or Bodo. This I'm going to put under amazing, too. It was great. The story was amazing. It was fun. The challenges were unique. It was like the end of a trilogy. The deep space expansion was fun. The like character mechanics at the beginning were really fun. I just wish they were more included. The only complaint I have this was the mechanics were basically non-existent after like 3 or 4 challenges. Next up, we have Creators Camp of Imagination. I'm going to put this under Unable to Fairly Rank just because it hasn't even started yet. So far, high hopes. It looks great, but it might fucking, like, faceplant. And so, I hope it doesn't. Next up, we got the original 4 seasons of Oh God, So Many Camps camp. This camp has probably been the most rebooted camp in the history of camps. Like, not, like, multiple seasons. There's camps with, like, 6 or 7 seasons, but just quit, like, deleted, and then rebooted. I'm gonna put this under bad. I'm sorry. It kept failing, and then Mevib tried to fix it, but didn't really. I think, if I recall, the first season was a Dungeons and Dragons game. The second one was more camp-like, but I could be confusing these. The third, I think, was just flat-out D&D, but as I said, I could be mixing up the seasons. Then the fourth season, I didn't even do it. I didn't participate in it. I have no idea what happened. But yeah, it didn't work out. Okay. I'm gonna put this under fun. Pot or Pursuit of the Tooth King, POTTK, whatever you want to call it. It was Therium DCYT, whatever you want. His first camp, and it was pretty good. Yeah. I mean, not a lot of people like the ending, but in the long spect of the lore, it was a good end. It was a good ending. It just, at the time, it was seen as kind of stupid. Again, mechanics kind of non-existent. The ghost thing was cool, even though I never really dealt with that. This was kind of like the early seasons of the lore, so we didn't really know what the fuck we were doing yet. But it was a good camp. It was fun, enjoyable. Next up, we got Feasel Ferret's Camp of Cards. Obviously, this is fucking garbage. I can't... Meepy, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, but it had such promise, and then you just fucking abandoned it for no reason without any warning, and you could have given it to me and Edgar to try to work on, but no, you just abandoned it, and I lost a lot of respect for Meepy because of that, and yeah, I fucking hate it. Yeah. Next up is the Toolbox. Again, gonna put it under Unable to Fairly Rank. It's going kind of slow right now. I don't have a lot of hopes for it, but it might do great. I just right now I can't say anything about it. Now, next up is The Great Voyage, also another one of mine. Obviously, no, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna put it under bad. It had a promising thing. Honestly, I made it as a mini camp just to pass the time while I waited for ATDSC Season 3 to start, and then it started, like, way quicker than I assumed, so this kind of didn't have any time to thrive. But, like, a bunch of contestants quit or didn't do the challenge, and the challenges get posted, like, once a year, so that's kind of on our fault. I still, we're going to continue it. We're thinking of what the penultimate challenge should be. But, yeah, it was, I can't say it's a good camp. It had 0 mechanics, intentionally, and, yeah. Next up, we have Quest for Absolutely Nothing. I'm gonna put this under decent. It reminds me of, like, an original, survival, object camp, essentially. It has all those, like, kind of mechanics, which is nice. I don't love those, but it's nice. That's really all I can say about it. It's nice. There's nothing inherently bad about it, but it's not great. Next up, we have Growing to Greatness, and I am going to put this under fun. Now, normally I rank one camp all by itself, like as I did with Oh God, So Many Camps camp. However, the difference between Growing to Greatness and then this, what I'm hovering over, Season 2 of that, Vine's Confectionatorium or whatever, is such a vast difference, and I'll get to why later. Growing to Greatness was my first survival camp I was ever in. It inspired me to do ATDSC. However, the host was fucking terrible. Let's just say that. But besides that, it was a great camp. Like, the challenges were fun. It introduced me to people. I spent an hour once just looking at everything in the camp just to see how it worked. It was really fun. It was like my first glimpse into it, and I mean, I do feel like that I got robbed because I don't know if you know what happened, but basically there was three of us left, and we both had a decent amount of health, and they're just like, okay, let's flip a coin to kill someone off because I want to get to the finale, and then I died, and then I think DCYT should have won instead of this other guy, but besides that, it was a good camp. However, then he made a second season called Vine's Confectionatorium, and you already know where that's going. That thing was fucking shit, even worse than whatever sock. I never know how to pronounce that. Even worse than that. First of all, it was a team camp where you had two teams. I never really liked team camps that much. That's just me. It's a personal opinion, but there was like two challenges. I think they added this moon character, and then no one was really that motivated, and then they just stopped the camp. They put it on hiatus because they had to deal with a fucking roleplay camp instead. Like, imagine putting more effort into a roleplay camp, which, by the way, I don't think is actually that active, over a camp that already has a giant community. I'm pretty sure this camp had, at least at the time, I think a lot of people left, had more members than ATDSC. It had a big following already. It had people into it. It could have gone somewhere, but it didn't. And I could go into this more, but I won't. It was a huge disappointment. Now, next up, we're gonna get to Aetherium's Slaughterhouse, Aetheria's Slaughterhouse. I am gonna put this under decent. Now, I did die midway through, so it's kind of biased, but the challenges were more boring. Aetharia kind of seemed like a Mary Sue, except evil. It was a good lead to battle the Akadarons. I don't never know how to pronounce that, but as a camp, it was probably, out of the three, it was the worst by far. It was not bad in any sense, but it didn't have the lore was great. I've spent many hours just reading all the scenes from that camp, but the actual camp itself is mid-tier. Now we're going to get to Brawl of the Canoms. I really want to put it up here, but I can't, just because the lack of just control. The Arcanum, the host, has already said this. It's very messy. It's a very messy camp. I mean, I love the whole Canum storyline. The challenges were pretty fun. They were mostly unique. The story, as I said, was really good. The mechanics seemed really cool, even though no one used them. But it was so fucking messy that it pained me at sometimes. And that's why I can't put it at the top. But also, I won it, so that it's a little biased. But yeah, good camp, not amazing, but definitely high top tier. And then the Labyrinth, I'm just gonna put there. I like joined it once. It looks cool. It has like over 100 members in it. I tried to sign up, but I didn't get in. And yeah, that's my tier list. So things are pretty balanced out, I'd say. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and happy 1-year anniversary to ATDSC.